Right, welcome to this training. And it really is a training. Of course, I had said this is an info session, and it is that, but so much more. And so I'm actually managing all the controls here. So thank you for bearing with me as I let everybody in. My number two is on vacation. And I always want to give my people the break that they so well deserve. But today, we're talking about the Six Figures Accelerator. And in addition to that, like, you will experience a training by being here. So I want you to understand that you're not just here to tell me, to show me, explain to you what the Joyful Six Figures Accelerator is. You will get that. I'm going to show you behind the scenes and things. But I want to applaud you for being here, whether it's here live or on the replay, because you will learn something. You will experience a shift if you are present. So here's my promise to you. What I have inside the accelerator is the most powerful process for Christian women to grow your business. This is the room where you're going to make the ultimate shift from confused, like I can't know where to focus, and working too many hours with very little to show for it, all the way to doing exactly what CEOs do, curating an absolutely irresistible offer, standing out in the marketplace, and having fun in the process, right? Not feeling like that imposter, because you're not, and also signing best clients, and all of it because you've decided to go all in on your faith in Christ, on your calling by him, and on your business. Okay. So, and obviously everything I do is with Jesus Christ at the very center. So how does this work? Well, through my simple 3-step process, I'm going to take you through here, through top-notch coaching, and through the community that by God's grace I have put together, and only by his hand. So stay with me. I think this is going to be 30 to 40 minutes. And at the end, I have this very special opportunity available just because you're here, and it's for my fast action takers. So open up that chat and I want you to answer me. Okay. This is good to be fully present. And Neki Muli, I hope I say your name right. I would love it if you could turn on your camera if possible, only because it holds us all accountable to be fully present. Okay, so in the chat, tell me, how are you feeling right now in your business? I want you to think about that. When you think about your business, maybe a word comes up, maybe a thought comes up, maybe a feeling comes up. Whichever that is, I want you to capture it now in the chat. And as you do, and you might have to do some power thinking on that today, I would highly encourage you to do that, right? As you do, I would, getting people in here is messing me up here. I want you to ask yourself, what's missing in my business right now? As in, what are you craving? Like, you don't have to be the business coach that I am and say, I know exactly what's missing. Like, you don't have to. I do. But what I am asking you is, what are you craving in your business right now? Like, are you craving a step-by-step process that actually works? Like, how many courses have you been in where they're like, this is the easy way? You sat through a masterclass and it seemed great. You got in and you had no support and you were like, I don't know, this somehow made sense during the masterclass, but as I'm working it, it just doesn't. So are you looking for that step-by-step process that really does work? Are you craving somebody that knows what they're doing to review everything you're doing? Whether it's sales page, emails, whatever it might be, right? Gosh, I wish somebody could just look at my social content and give me an idea of like what's going on. I wish someone could look at my brand and tell me, like, is this really a brand that stand out? Or, to give you the real deal, not just puff you up and give you a little atta girl, but someone that's going to give you detailed review. I'm going to give you an example of my level of review because I think that's what's necessary. In fact, I don't think it, I know it. Are you craving personalized coaching to address your concerns? Even in a group container, do you know that that's possible? Where if the person that's the leader has a brain and capacity to remember a lot of stuff, to notate a lot of stuff, and know your business and know you so much so that it's not like someone's ramming down your throat the one way you need to do it, but rather they're looking at that coach, would be me in this instance, looking at your strengths and saying, you know what, I think this is where you should lean in. Are you really like craving that? Are you dying for a a container that actually gives you support, not just lip service to it, by the very coach herself, not some team of people who, God bless and God willing, they're learning all the things, but they've never even owned a business. And yet they're telling you. I'll never forget one time, one of my coaches, and she's an 8-figure coach now, she assigned a client success manager to me. I think I may have mentioned. And one time she really was harsh with me in a way that was not professional. And I later found out that before she got this position as a client success manager with an 8-figure company, she was a character at Disney. She had zero experience. So are you craving like support from someone that's been there, done that? And are you craving a community of women who love Jesus Christ and who get you for having ambition that God put there, by the way, and we're all going in the same place? And above all of that, are you craving for results in your business, not excuses, right? So if that is you, I've been there. You know, when I think about what I've done, even in the past 5 years, it's only by God's hand. I was my sister and I put on a 500-person conference, in-person conference, and these top 3 are from that. I've spoken on other stages. I've been on television, and this is me doing my favorite thing. I was in St. Thomas at this time, just hanging out and having fun. But there was a lot of crying along the way. There was a lot of, oh my goodness, when is it going to break through, Lord? When is this really going to happen? I've been there. So what if you had all the essential building blocks in one program to grow your business to 6 figures and then grow from there, right? What could you accomplish? So the thing with the accelerator is it's comprehensive. It is not just, offer creation. It is not just marketing. It is not just sales. It's all that together and more. So does this sound like you? Are you tired of the revenue yo-yo? Sometimes I have a 0 month. Sometimes I have a $8,000 month, or maybe even a $12,000, $15,000 month. And then I'm back to 2,000. Are you tired of that yo-yo? Do you have more questions than answers right now when it comes to running your business? Might you feel isolated, misunderstood, and again, crave community? And do you long for that personalized, real-time feedback? Not a week later, but real time to get you unstuck. And are you tired of hearing worldly crazy and a perspective that fails to align with your faith in Christ? Well, my question for you is what if you could get weekly coaching and daily support in the key fundamentals? What if you were able to identify through the help of a coach and eliminate even what's blocking your success? What would that mean to you? Think about that. How much further along would you be when you have that kind of support and that kind of, coach that has your back? So come into the chat. I need all of you to do this, not for me as much as it's for you. So I want you to put your thinking cap on, and I want you to think about last week. We're going to do some power thinking here. That's the highest level of value, imagination, and power thinking. That is where wealth is created. That is where we create concepts that make us a thought leader instead of just kind of being one of many. So I want you to tell me in the chat, what had you stumped last week? Like what maybe put you in a tizzy last week? Or where did you really have like a downward spiral? And it could be something like just drafting an email. Like, Judy, I'm tired of drafting emails and I don't know what I'm saying. I don't have a great open rate. I don't have a big email list, and an email just I don't understand it. Maybe it's that. Or maybe it's like social content. I am so sick of social. I am sick of the DMs. I wish I didn't have to be on it. Like what is stumping you? Maybe it's leads. I want leads. Okay. Can someone just tell me something that feels good, a way that I can get in front of the right people? Hint, I did last week on day 3. Go back and listen. It's on the podcast, actually, and it's still on YouTube. I kept it up for you another couple of days. But when you think about what stumped you last week, think about it this way. If you had the answer, if you had a resource like me and a peer of a community of peers, what would you have completed if you had access to that answer? Think about that. How much you'd be moving forward instead of feeling like, all I keep doing is going from thing to thing to thing. And I don't know, I'm working hard and nothing's really landing. But what if you did have the answer? So Of course, last week was all about offer week because your offer is absolutely foundational. Okay. Without an offer, there's nothing for you to sell. Without you loving your offer, not because you love it, but because you know that you built it and designed it specifically for your best client. But your offer is something that without that, you're going to struggle because you won't even know what you're selling. And by the way, your audience won't know either. So having that irresistible offer is foundational. Now, tell me in the chat, when you think about your offer, because even if you don't have it fully dialed in, you know what you do, the services you offer. I want you to tell me, and I don't know that anybody's gotten in the chat, so we need to do that. I'm going to go out and into the chat, so I need to hear from you. Why is your offer awesome? Like, the point here is what makes it valuable? And really, at the end of the day, it's like, why should your audience of best clients say yes to working with you? What makes it valuable? Okay, so Jennifer says, I'm tired of social media, but mostly my elevator pitch that's super clear and concise. The VIP session was so good. I'm working on 3 simple ones. Yay. I'd love to see you post that in the Accelerator group. All right, so Denise said Facebook was distracting last week. Yes, it always is. Social is. We get these bing, bing, bings. I can't stand it. Like I hear some people on Instagram and it says, they've silented their phone. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. And frankly, I don't care to do it. I just turn down my sound. But anyway, okay, that's great. So thank you for that. Tell me why your offer is valuable. Another way to say this is, why would your best client, why could you so confidently believe that saying yes to you is their best next step? I love my offer for my best client because that's what we're talking about. For me, the high level of service, especially at this price point, can't be beat. Like, do the work. The work will work for you. Jennifer says she loves her offer because it's a proven framework and it's her own signature method. Awesome. And I would say go a little bit deeper, Jennifer. I love it. But what specifically and the results they get in a few weeks? Awesome. And why do they get the results? Because of my blah, blah, blah framework, because of my la, 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 right? This is where I want you to go. I want you to think in terms of there may be others that do kind of sort of what you do, but nobody does exactly what you do. Okay. Denise says, create a new perspective that's going to give generational results. Yes. So Denise helps moms to develop a friendship with their grown daughters and mend that relationship. So yeah, that absolutely has generational impact. Okay. Now I want you to, still thinking about your offer, tell me in the chat, what does that after look like for your clients? What does that after look like? For me, it's like my clients, they start to understand how marketing can be fun. And so they actually enjoy the process of being interviewed on podcasts. They enjoy the process of, getting on sales conversations and learning more about the people with whom they're speaking. Let's go into the chat. Calm, relaxed, a sense of freedom for those moms. Yes. I bet thanks. I bet the idea and the air around that Thanksgiving table is something that, you don't have to dread or fear. So good. All right. Now, tell me in the chat some of your best clients' objections. Besides, they don't have the money. That's baloney. Everybody has the money for what they value. So don't accept it. Okay. No, I'm not saying beat them over the head. You have the money. If you cared, you do it. That's not what I'm talking about. What I am saying is objections, when they are truly objections, not just excuses, it's all around beliefs. So what beliefs do your best clients, we don't want tire kickers, we don't, God bless them, but we don't need to spend time on their beliefs. But for those true best clients that you can help and they want change, what belief are they still holding on to that's keeping them from saying yes? Oh, Jennifer's going back to the other question. Because of my Simply method and the after looks like gradual weight loss, natural energy, sustained through the day and having more focus. Wow, that is so good. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that right now her clients are feeling exhausted? Um, they're lacking focus. They're they're not liking their weight. And in just a couple of weeks, they're going to start to feel different. And I know, can we all agree that once you start seeing the progress, it just fuels you on to keep going. Oh, this is working, right? So good. Okay, so for objections, Jennifer says time and not sure if they have to be restricted like a diet or going to the gym. Okay, I think the last parts you can absolutely address. Well, it's up to your program. In my program, I know some diets, they're all about what you can't do, what you can't eat, right? And also you have to pump iron 5 times a day. Nope. Mine, you don't have to go to the gym. You might have some simple exercises you can use with a wall or something, or walking at home. It could be bad weather, or maybe, but here's the thing too. This is so good because we need to be bold when we talk about our program. Remember, we were talking about on Saturday, if you attended my $1 Million Collaborations bonus training, I talked about how we need to look at how the gurus say to do things and flip it on its head. So if the gurus are saying, nope, you can't get around it, you can't eat X, you can't eat Y, and you have to just live on kale. If we can say that's nonsense, you do not have to live on kale, right? So we have to find those points of distinction and speak them loud and proud. Okay. They say that since experiencing this, it keeps them motivated and distracted from the final outcome. Yeah. Jackie, because their story will free them and help them to free others from their pain through their book. Oh, so good. So good. And that is what motivates them to write this book, which I'm sure, because I'm in the midst of it, as you're going through it, there's the enemy loves to throw distraction on that because that's a longer term project. Awesome. Very, very good. All right, poll time. I need you to write A, B, C, D, E, or F. Okay. Where do you feel the least confident when it comes to this list? Okay. And really, it's about least confident in your business. Is it creating your offer, like packaging it and positioning it as irresistible? That's A. Or is it B, leads? Like, I don't know how to be seen. I feel like I'm doing everything and nobody's watching, right? Or is it C? I've got like this email list of a couple of hundred or a couple of thousand, but I don't know how to stay in touch. I don't know how to follow up. Or is it D, the sales? I don't know how to have, or I'm not confident in my sales conversation. I can get people on the phone and I love to talk about what I do and find out about them. But when it comes to pitching, yikes, is that you? Or maybe you think that I'm least confident when it comes to my mindset because I am constantly like being distracted. And also, I really tend to doubt myself and I want to be certain. Or maybe it's something else. So A, B, C, D, E, or F. Let me go and see what we're doing. C and E equally. So the nurture and the mindset. Okay. Jackie says the pitching. Okay. So sales. Okay. And then the mindset and the leads, getting in front of the best clients. So good. Okay. So here's the thing. Wouldn't it be awesome if one program could give you all this and it wouldn't cost $10,000? And what if it lasts for a year to allow you to really immerse yourself in the process and in this group where everybody's thinking higher because we're going for it? We're going all in, and Jesus Christ is at the center. But when you think about your offer and how good it is and how much your best client needs it, and you consider your weaknesses or where you could grow, what is your plan to learn the skills you need to gain the confidence you need in each of those areas? This is where strategic decision making comes in. Like if you don't jump into this container, I understand that's your choice. But if not, how are you going to get from where you are right now? It can't be by doing what you've been doing. Agreed? Say yes in the chat if you're with me on that. So I want to share with you the skills you need to succeed as an entrepreneur. And the list that I have may surprise you. Ready? First skill you need to succeed as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, is decision making. And you know what? We make decisions all the time. From a simple thing of what am I going to have for lunch to, what am I going to buy at the grocery store? I don't know why that's all around food, but they came up right away. It was so funny because I don't ever plan my food and I don't go to the grocery store, but decision making, which means you analyze your options and then you go. Analyze and go confidently, meaning we don't ruminate and doubt for weeks. or God forbid, months. Decision making is the most powerful skill that you, as a faith fueled CEO, can ever develop. And it's the one you need to focus on the most. Now, do you know of any program out there, even mine, that says, hey, be a decision maker? I mean, that's just kind of an underlying foundation. But if you don't have someone that is constantly teaching you how, then how are you ever going to develop it? Because what I see out there is it's just do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. And they don't explain to you why, like the thinking behind it. Because the ladies that I work with, as much as I love you, I don't want to be your coach forever. Not because I don't want to hang out with you, but because I want to give you, I want to impart to you what you need so that at one point in the not too distant future, you are a confident decision maker. Does that make sense? See, there's some coaches out there chasing the dollars and they just want to upsell you and upsell you and upsell you. And they'll give you what you need in the moment. And then they'll go, oh, if you want that, well, that'll be another X dollars. How many have been there? I sure have. It's like, wait, how much do I have to give you to really like allow you to open your brain and give me what I need? But the number one skill you need as an entrepreneur is decision making. Next is power thinking. Intentionally pausing to use your brain. And I mentioned this during offer week. It's the thing you are going to hate. It's the thing that is going to be just, you're going to find every distraction to avoid. You're going to come to it with the best of intentions. I'm going to dedicate time right now to think about my offer, to think about my marketing, to think about, my sales conversation, and the doorbell will ring or a notification will go off on your phone. Next thing you know, you're on to something else. So decision making, I know where I'm going. I'm determining between different things. I analyze and I go. Second, power thinking. That's kind of a part of decision making, right? I need to give prayerful thought and proper time in order to find what is already living in your brain. Powerful concepts that nobody's ever talked about, things you put together that nobody is. And I'm going to share one that just came to me in church. We were talking about relationships yesterday, and the pastor said relationships, and I immediately thought about something my twin sister and I were discussing last week. She said, you know what, Jude, I need to have a better relationship with money. And even when she said it, my gut was like, what? And so anyway, in church, because look, what applies to life applies to work. Okay, so be open to that, to the Lord talking to you, even in church and in your prayer time. And I thought, you know what? I don't want a relationship with money. That is wrong. We do not need a better relationship with money. A relationship is reserved for people. I am not going to personify money any more than I'm going to personify the universe. Can I get an amen? So from my perspective is we don't need a better relationship with money. We need a right understanding of money as to what God says about it. And he says that all things are under our feet in Genesis 1, right? We are to subdue the earth. We are to subdue things. I don't want to have to please. A relationship is about sacrifice. It's about giving. I'm not going to sacrifice a damn thing for money. Sorry to swear, but obviously I'm passionate about this, right? And I am not going to give to money. It is a tool which I am the master of. Do you see what I'm saying? So that concept is to the right people. They're going to like, yeah, I like that. I don't want to have a relationship with inanimate objects. Okay. So the only reason that came up is because I was thinking about it and the Lord God dropped that perspective during church. Okay. What other skill do you need to succeed as an entrepreneur? Leadership, thought leadership when it comes to leading the way, taking action that nobody else is taking stands that others aren't taking, standing firm in your convictions, right? Leadership, servant leadership, because our leadership isn't about us. It's about leading others for their benefit. Okay. Finally, communication, messaging, copy. We could have great offers, but if we don't know how to talk about it in a way that our best clients understand, it's not going to land. So messaging is copy. But there's different aspects to it. That's why I separated those out. But it's all about communication, even communicating who you are. and what you do and how you do it, right? And finally, selling is a skill that you cannot get away from. We can't just delegate that out, because in order to do that, we need to put in the hands of those to whom we've delegated selling the right information, the right phraseology, etc. So we cannot delegate selling. It's others focused persuasion and, of course, certainty. Can you tell that I am so certain that this accelerator is the right next best step if you are not yet at solid and consistent 10K months? There's no doubt in my mind. You need that when you sell. And of course, what serves as the very foundation of all of these skills that we've just talked about: decision making, power thinking, leadership, communication, and selling? It is your faith in Jesus Christ, our Lord. So right now in the chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, and look, this is just between us sisters, okay? There's no judgment, but I want us to be honest with ourselves. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your belief? Specifically, your belief that your success in Christ, because he's called you to this, is inevitable. I do want to look at chat on this. A 10. Awesome. Love it. Let me ask you, if you knew your success was inevitable, would you do anything other than go all in? Would you hesitate to send out that message that says something that nobody else said? Like my thing on, you don't need a better relationship with money. You need to understand what God said about it and your relation to it, right? And then we have an 8. Okay, that's so good. And then to the extent you're not at that 10, then you have to say, ooh, where don't I believe? Where is my disbelief? And Lord God, help me to see what you say about this, because I could say a lot of things. Judy could say a lot of things. I want you always, and I will always point you back to scripture. What does the Bible say? And also, what did God tell you in his time with you, right? How about this one? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your belief that you are a leader? You're a leader. See what we got. Yeah, putting those systems in place. Okay. So how would you rate yourself as a leader? And then finally, how about you as an expert? See, because some of you out there may be in the earlier stages of business and you don't think you're enough, but you don't have to be enough for the wrong audience. You have to be enough for your best client, and you're perfect for that. God's given you everything you need right now to serve your best client in the best way that you can, in the best way that they need right now. Let's see what's going on in the chat. 10 in leadership, 8 in expert, maybe? And I should ask you to put what it is, but okay. How about this one? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your belief about you are enough or you know enough? That shouldn't be known enough. You know enough. Do you think you know enough right now? I'm here to tell you, you don't need my permission, but I just want to suggest to you that you do. Okay. What about your belief that your offer works? This is so huge. You've got to believe that your offer gets your clients who do the work results. Okay. And that's the next one. Like they're related. My offer works and my clients are going to get results because it works. And then finally, again, that your success is inevitable. Let me just come in the chat and see what I missed. 10 of knowing. Yes, I like that. You need that. So the Joyful Six Figures Accelerator is not an on-demand course. I hate that. That word course like makes me go, bleh, like that's a visceral reaction to it. Why? Because courses don't work. In Judy Weber's humble opinion, courses do not work. Why? Because you don't have support. And you can be very motivated at an event or at a training or a webinar, masterclass, whatever, and then you're bound to have questions. And then where do you go to get them answered? So the Joyful Six Figures Accelerator is a live, high touch, high support, highly interactive business mentorship and a faith development container. So we got 3 simple steps to follow so that you grow as a CEO, mature as a follower of Christ, and so then you can accelerate the growth of your business in a way that feels good because you're doing it God's way. So what is inside of this container? Well, like I said, it's comprehensive. You get the Simply Profitable business model, which focuses on one offer, one best client, right? And it has a comprehensive curriculum. I'm going to show you about that in a second. There's a simple process. There's 3 steps. Create your offer, joy-infused marketing, like have fun marketing it and getting the word out, and then ethical selling that feels really good. What else is inside? A marketing and sales system. We talked about systems. You don't have to do all the things. Be very focused, okay? And what else? A faith-fueled mindset. That's really, without that, we will ruminate and doubt. And on the contrary side, the more we really believe what God says, and we live and behave and speak and think in a way that we are who God says we are, that is when you step into your identity fully. And that's when things happen in your business. And inside, you'll also get unparalleled support. Let's talk about each of these things. The Simply Profitable Business Model. There are so many people out there saying, build your empire, right? And you ultimately want to build great big teams, and you want to have like a whole offer suite, maybe 10 different things, all the way from $77 on up to, it's 50,000. In the beginning, that is a huge mistake. Huge. Because where you're focused on more than one thing, can I just be honest, there is no focus. And so when you are looking and prioritizing 5 different offers, like you just can't do it. You don't have the capacity as a CEO yet to keep everything straight. And so if you're confused, imagine how your audience is confused. Okay. So that is one thing that you'll find inside. What else? A comprehensive curriculum. There's trainings, there's resources, templates, swipe files, samples, all of it. So I want to see if I can move y'all a little bit so that I can go and show you the platform. So this is the front page of the dashboard. Little welcome video for you. On the right-hand side is like the fast, where do I find something really quick? So the process, my 3-step process, would take you over to the 3 steps, which is the same over here. Right offer, marketing, selling, but you can go there right quick and see them on just one page. To go over to the Facebook group, go to the private podcast, Coach Me as a feature I'll tell you about, the calendar, Let's Celebrate You, FAQs, those kinds of things, okay? So let's look inside here. So the foundations is where you begin. These are the foundations of your business. So for example, in the Start Here modules, you can see that I like to keep things bite-sized. So it's not like an hour and a half trainings, like what you experienced in Offer Week. It's much more condensed so that you can consume it. Nobody has time to just sit around for an hour and a half on an ongoing basis. So I break these down into nuggets. The Start Here modules, these trainings are all geared to give you a clear understanding and a roadmap of what to do first, how to use the materials inside, how to navigate the portal, how to, how live coaching works, what happens in the Facebook community, how to use Coach Me, and in a quick click of a button, get everything into your calendar, your Google Calendar. So let me show you. So for example, once you get in, a lot of these obviously have a training, and they may have some resources along with it that you can either print off and click through right here, or I have it set up in one workbook that you can get it either within each module or training or in a workbook. But okay, and then here, navigating the portal, like I give you everything you would ever want to need to make best use of this container. So you can see it's 26 minutes, but you know what's great? You ever been in a container and you're like, can I listen to this faster? I make sure you can listen to it faster. You can listen to it on double speed, but I encourage you, you need to go through each of these, because if you don't, you're going to miss something, meaning you're not going to understand how to optimize the time inside. Okay, let's go back. I want to show you something else. So let's go into the right offer framework. Okay, this is all about creating your offer. So you can see how it's very specific. This dedicated to your best clients so that you can decide that. Watch that, download the worksheet, decide. What's your result? Watch it, download the workbook, decide, right? The container, naming your offer, confirming your decisions, irresistibility. And then we had a co-working session. I'll talk about that in a second. But I laid this out so that it's pretty, because I love pretty. Anybody else love pretty? And it's also easy to navigate. You can easily find where you need to go. I talked about the workbook. So you will see that we have 2 workbooks. This is all of the resource material in one place. And then we have an entire workbook for a sales conversation, 46 pages. And you're like, oh my goodness, no, just do this once. Do this power thinking, and you will be set up for success for the rest of the time you're in business. So you'll see I ask questions. There are some hot links to different things, but this is what you need to think about. There you go. The belief triad, that's what sales is all about. And you have room to write in this workbook. I highly encourage that you print it out so that you have it in hard copy. All right, so that's the workbooks. Hold on a second. Let me just go back. Okay. Then I also have the coaching replays. What's great about the coaching replays, I want to show you this. And it always goes back to the early one. I want to show you the most recent. What I do is I name every time all of our weekly coaching sessions. I name it. Why do you do that, Jude? Because how many of you have gone into a program and they go, you get access to all my past coachings? Yeah, but what are you talking about in them? I don't have time to sit and watch 200 group coaching things. So strategically planning your runway, promotion, and pre-selling for a launch. I guess, let me go to May so I can show you a couple. Okay, so strategies to maximize networking opportunities, how to handle families' feedback, and then also how to decide on URLs for your stuff, troubleshooting, evaluating with specificity. Specificity, ladies, oh my goodness. And then creating sexy titles that grab your best client's attention. Like, this is the way I do things is very practical. You need what you need to move forward. I don't want to waste your time. Let's see why this isn't going back. Here we go. So we have co-working sessions. Co-working sessions. Well, I'm going to get ahead of myself, but co-working sessions is when we come together monthly to work on a project. I'm going to give you examples of exactly what we're going to be handling coming up later this year. And then once a month, we also have sales role plays, because sales, learning sales, you cannot read a book to do it. That workbook I showed you is beautiful, right? It helps you to think through the things you need to think through, but then you need to actually practice. Okay. Then I have some advanced modules for you and some bonus material. All right, let's go back to our PowerPoint. But I thought it was so important for you to see that my curriculum is deep, yet consumable. It is robust, and yet there's a solid structure around it. Okay, return on investment. You get to decide how quickly you make your money back. And this shows you, I have a 30-day ROI, 60 and 90-day. So I lay out exactly what you need to do within what time frame in order for you to do exactly that. So here's the process, and I alluded to it, okay? 1 irresistible higher ticket offer. Then streamlined joy-infused marketing, and then ethical servant leader selling. So let's break this down a little bit. Your higher ticket offer inside the Joyful Six Figures Accelerator is where you learn to curate 1 higher ticket offer. It's an in-demand offer because of the way you talk about it and because of your unique approach that nobody else has. We're going to codify your genius into a transformative methodology. I called that in the offer week your system, getting them from where they are to where they want to go. And I help you with that. You're going to identify your like no one else approach. And again, going back to thought leadership, you're going to build a standout brand because you're not going to be copy and paste of somebody else. Nobody can say, oh, you're just like so-and-so. And the way you do it is just like so-and-so. Absolutely not. And also as a part of that, you're going to claim your category in the marketplace because there is no one like you. No one else has your thumbprint and nobody else does your work like you do. And you're going to develop your CEO decision-making skill set, which is operating from, a place of calm and confidence and certainty, because we're not operating as the world does. We're operating supernaturally, right? Because the Lord God Almighty is our chairman of the board. You're the CEO. He's the chairman of the board. Next step in the process is your marketing. Again, we're going to really go deep into establishing your standout brand. Part of that is understanding you need to have a solid messaging point of view, and that enters into my 7-figure messaging matrix that I introduced just last week. That's going to be a huge part of really feeling good and solid about the way you talk about who you are, your offer, and about the results that your clients would get. We're going to have one leverage visibility strategy. We're going to have one high converting opt-in, and we're going to also get your email nurture sequences done. And I mentioned here daily activities to 10K months. When it comes to marketing, that is a module inside of the platform. And I break it down based upon, what did I do? Based upon a 6-hour workday, when 2 hours is client time, based upon a 6-hour workday, where should you be focusing your time? I lay it out. It's a framework that helps you to be focused so that you're not like, oh gosh, it's 2 hours and I don't even know what I did, but I was messing around on Facebook. No, we don't have time to mess around. That's not what we're going to be doing, right? Because here's the thing, in 2024 and following, and Lord knows what will happen with the election, but regardless of that, those of you like me in the past, right? Those of you who are pretty good flying by the seat of your pants, that won't cut it anymore. We need intentionality, right? We need to be intentional about everything that we're doing, every moment that we're spending, okay? Also, we need to be strategic. It's no more like throw it spaghetti into the wall and see what happens. No, there's no time to waste. So inside this particular aspect, this process, I'm really going to be encouraging you to apply the Pareto principle, that 80-20%, like the 20% of what you're doing is producing 80% of your results. Let's identify that 20% and go all in on it, right? And okay, let's move on. So we have the offer creation, the joy infused marketing, and here we have ethical, authentic, servant-led selling. So I'm going to show you a clear sales process. You're going to learn my sales conversation framework, which is not a script. It is a framework, because what may feel good for you may not feel good for somebody else, right? So it's all about what works for you. You're going to understand buyer psychology so that you can infuse that into everywhere you show up, not just your sales, but also your marketing. You're going to sell as that servant leader. And again, the linchpin of this is your belief triad. This is the key to feel good selling, right? And then those advanced modules on copywriting, time and productivity, and I'm going deeper on an effortless brand. Bonus modules. If you're like operations, like if you're like me, I'm not operationally minded. Like I'm not an SOP girl. I'm not, I'm an organized in my brain, but not with my stuff. How many of you have a bunch of workbooks? Anybody else? Like you love workbooks and you have piles and piles of notebooks that you write notes in, but you don't even know like where, if you wanted to grab something that you had notes on from like 2 weeks ago, would you know where to find it? So I have a bonus training by an ops specialist to show you how to set up your business in the back end. We also have an accounting, again, an accountant is the one that created this idea of a permanent profitability accounting, setting yourself up in the way of accounting right from the start. I did a training on legal issues, what's important, what you need to keep your eye on. I have a way to create a lifetime of content for you in a very short time, in 24 hours or less, okay? And then I have a bonus 31 days of leads that I did a couple of years ago. And of course, you get your full 30-day faith-fueled business journal, which is your go-to Bible verses for this, the faith-fueled mindset. This is where you hold your thoughts captive as unto Christ. This is a process as to how to do that. It's not just hold my thoughts captive in the process, in the abstract, but I show you how to do it through my faith-fueled thought model. You'll learn to think intentionally and strategically as you fully embrace your identity in Christ. And again, stand firm in your convictions. God built you to have strong opinions and convictions so that you would be the perfect instrument through which his message that he made you to deliver into the world comes out confidently, right? So that you live your faith on purpose, not just in life, but also in your business. But that's not all, right? Unparalleled support. This is the difference. This is the difference between being given a bunch of information and still not feeling like, oh, I learned a lot, but nothing really happened, and actually having a transformation in you and in your business. So the support is through weekly group coaching. We come together for an hour each and every week. And there you can ask questions. We can share screens. Hey, Jude, look at my sales page. What do you think? Hey, Judy, last week, this issue came up in my business. I'd love to talk it through. Those are the kinds of things. Nothing is held back. Ask anything you want. That's weekly. And then monthly, we do those sales role plays, as I mentioned, and we also do co-working sessions. What co-working sessions are is when we come together for an hour and a half. What happens is I already have predetermined topics or projects that everybody comes together to work on. So these are slated for the rest of the year. Finessing your message. We're going to come together in that one, for example. What I do is I set the room. I give like a very mini teaching so that we kind of know what we're doing and where to go to do the work. And then we are all on Zoom, but then we go to work for about an hour or maybe an hour and 10. Okay. And then we come back and we do feedback. You could ask questions of me. The peers give their impact, their advice too. So finessing your messaging, you might come and say, okay, so here's what I do, and here is my go-to theme of my brand. What do you think? Or here is my movements based on this. Like mine is pursue the impossible, so that you can produce miraculous results by God's hand. So that's what it's like. So you get feedback, but it feels so good because we roll up our sleeves together and we're getting something done. So podcast pitching, that's big for me. So one of these coming up, I think in July or August, we're going to identify your top 100 shows. You are going to get it done. Instead of saying you'll get it done, this is the time you do it, right? And then we're going to map out your protocol for actually pitching. And then we're going to talk about your follow-up process because it's so important. And then we're going to strategically plan for the new year. Okay. What else in the way of unparalleled support? Coach Me is something I alluded to. Coach Me is an opportunity for you to bring mindset issues, limiting beliefs to me specifically. So there's a Google form you fill out, and you and I communicate back and forth via email. A lot of times I do a video there because I think it's important to kind of get what out of my mouth. It's easier for me to speak than to type sometimes, but this is where you get me as much as daily one-to-one coaching on your mindset. Then we also have a private Facebook community where I give you detailed review and feedback within 48 hours. I'm going to show you an example of that in a second. And then again, the private podcast where that is, it's on Apple, but trust me, only Accelerator clients have access. And what is the podcast consist of? Our group coaching calls weekly. Okay. And also there you can see the title of each group coaching. All right, let's talk about, this is an example of unparalleled support. You see that I gave a 22-minute video in response to one of our clients. She wanted feedback on her slides for a masterclass. So you can see, I don't just say, great job, go to the next thing. I'm like, okay, I think, maybe this could be improved here. What do you think about that? As I'm putting my brain into the brain of your best client, I'm thinking maybe she'll miss this. Can you go deeper there? This is the kind of feedback that I provide. I mean, that's what I'm saying. For the under $10,000 is insane. So you can see Lissa had a comment back, and then I commented back after that, and the thread continues. Like nobody does that. Even if you have $20,000, it just isn't done. So Lissa is a time management expert. She came to me. She worked with a multi-seven-figure entrepreneur and Christian woman, and she made $5,000 in 9 months. She came to me, and in I think it was 4 to 6 weeks, she prepared her launch. We repackaged her offer. We increased the price either 3 or 4-fold, and in a 2-week launch, she generated nearly 40K. And she said the detailed feedback and direction, coupled with your personal touch, is far above any other coaching program, and my results prove it. Lisa is a wealth activator. In her first month inside, she signed 3 5K clients and ended the week at 17,000 plus because she also had another offer into her membership and also had women in there. Danielle Mendoza, she helps women to get that expert book out of their brain and in there, in the hands of their best client. This is a book that is their go-to lead generation tool. And within months of working together, she had her first 5-figure month, generating almost $35,000. That's more money than she made in the entire prior year. And then she graduated into my mastermind. But here's what I want you to know. I'm nothing special. I'm just like you. This is when I first started my business in 2003. Do you see this mess of a desk? Look how small that desk is. A mess of a desk. Stuff everywhere. There's my Duncan, okay? You can't even see my third guy. He's squeezed there. But These three were my priority. They were and always will be. But this is when I started my business. So I didn't know what I was doing. I just did it and I invested. I knew that the shortcut wasn't going to be Judy figuring it out, as smart as I am and as smart as I know you are. But I took huge leaps of faith. And so, because of what I've been through, I can help you. And I want to help you achieve miraculous results, right? Ephesians 3:20 is my life verse. Like, Jesus Christ is able to do immeasurably more than anything you and I could even think or imagine. And so that's the high level of activity that happens inside the accelerator. So what do you get again? It is a what I call master's degree level entrepreneurial curriculum, weekly group coaching from a biblical perspective, which works on mindset, decision making, and strategy. Daily access to me through detailed feedback in that Facebook group. Daily access to me via email and the Coach Me tool that I developed. Monthly sales role plays, monthly co-working sessions, not to mention inside this beautiful Facebook group, the networking and collab opportunities, right, of true faith-fueled sisterhood, because I want you to transform your business as you deepen your faith walk. Now, if you have been a consumer in the space, I think you'll agree that I could charge upwards of 30 grand for this intensive, immersive experience, or you could pay, I don't know, truly up to 100 grand if you piecemealed it out. But so it's well above 30 grand, 40 grand. The investment right now is $59.97 for that and a full 6 months access. But hang on. This is normally $68.97. It's only a special enrollment. So it is only for another 24 hours that you can save $900 pay in full or pay 9 monthly payments of $747. And this is the link where you would go to find out more. But because you're here, either with me live or watching the replay or listening to this on the podcast, in the next 24 hours, even though those juicy limited time bonuses are gone, this one I'm allowing just for another 24 hours. Instead of 6 months, I'm going to give you 12 months inside. So right there, you're doubling the time in. So that alone is another $6,000 worth of value when you jump in the next 24 hours, right? So by noontime Central tomorrow. Here's Carolina. She was one of my very first clients back in 2018. I took her from one real estate transaction, all the potential in the world, but such distraction, right? To now a multi-six-figure award-winning team leader and owner of Low Country Home Sales. And she's like, you know, what she said in her interview, if you saw it, which you go to guide 3 inside the multi-six-figure female Christian entrepreneurs group, she's like, Judy, my business exploded from working with you. I helped her gain clarity around the brand. Your Christian family realtor is where she wanted to go, but she's like, I don't know, can I do that? I'm like, why in the world not? Yes. And her business blew up. She's especially great because, you know, she serves people so well that she ends up serving every family member. One family member, she's bought and sold, helped them buy or sell like 10 homes. Just one client. Eugenia, she was a fractional CMO for podcasters. She said, I made my money back in less than 3 months. And she said, this is like the best investment I've ever made in my business. And she is a major consumer in the space. So as we wrap up, I want you to remember why you're here. You're motivated because God planted something in you to glorify him and to serve other people. And I know you want to do it from a place of calm, confidence, and certainty. You want to do it God's way, not the world's way, right? We want to leave behind those worldly tactics, right? So you could figure it out on your own, but how long is that going to take, right? And you are seeking true Christ-centric community and a like-minded mentor committed to helping you achieve success. And you're looking to change your story and, frankly, the trajectory of your business with a clear, doable process and a high level, the highest level of one-to-one support in a group setting. It's really the best of all worlds, with a decidedly unapologetic focus on Jesus and growing faith in him. So again, this is what you get. We talked about that. You might want to take a picture of this with that QR code takes you directly to that link, judyweber.co/accelerator. I will be sending out an email later on, but this is special enrollment pricing for the next 24 hours only to save $900 for the pay in full. And of course, there is that payment plan option, and you would double your time inside with you deciding in the next 24 hours that this is for you. So listen, in the beginning, I told you that this is the most powerful process for growing your business, the only one that is Christ-centric and goes so deep and so high in the way of operating business as a faith-fueled CEO. I know you're not a hobbyist. I know that God gave you something unique. The good and the bad experiences personally, as well as professionally, have brought you to this moment. And I just want you to know that I am committed to your success. In fact, can I just tell you something? Someone who joined the accelerator in recent days, something was an issue with the credit card. I forget. She came from South Africa. And so we decided to do something out of the ordinary. She said, can I just like wire the money in? And I said, great. So she said she did it. I let her in, right? And do you know that she's the one that reached out to me today? Now, don't think that this is irresponsible. Believe me, I had it on my time block for this afternoon to check to see that it got in. But I'm not one of these people that says, "Oh, well, until it clears, I'm not getting it in." You see what I'm saying? Like your credit card will go through or it won't. But I take you at your word. See, this is what it is. So I knew that she wants in. She's I'm trusting she's a person of her word. And I said, she said, Judy, did it hit yet? I said, yes, it did. And if it didn't, I would give her grace. And you have another 24 hours to figure it out. My point of what I want you to hear, what you need to hear is there are business coaches out there that are more concerned about the money in their pocket than even your name and certainly your business. That is not me. I'm on mission. Yes, this is a business and I do quite well, thank you. But my focus is exactly where it needs to be. Jesus Christ above all, and your success second when it comes to my business. So again, this special pricing, again, there is the QR code. If you have any questions, the best thing to do for you right now is to DM me wherever you are on social. I am on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram at Judy Weber Co. At Judy Weber Co. If you have questions, please tell me exactly what they are so that I can get back to you. Okay, I have calls even for the rest of the afternoon, and I am hopping on a plane tomorrow morning through Friday at a conference that I'm just so excited to be at. But as I said, I'm here for you now, and I'm going to be here for you when you DM me. Okay, not instantaneously because no expert is available immediately, right? If you call your doctor now, hello, doctor, would you expect to talk to her? No, but she would be timely, and it won't be a team member you're going to hear from. It's going to be me directly. So I just want to thank you for being here with me. And I pray that this has been a blessing for you and that you even learned something and had breakthrough even from the questions and some of the things that we have already talked about earlier on today. I'm here for you, sister. I can't wait to help you produce and create miraculous results by God's hand because you are working in a way that honors Him unapologetically and pursuing the impossible. So with that, I'll let you go. God bless you at Judy Weber Co. if you have any questions. God bless.